So, new school and old school. This is what I referred to before. This is one of the first combination of new school and old school that I saw. And what this author did, it was H-O-E-G-G, I'm not sure how you actually pronounce it, but started to combine these evaluation elements for a social media campaign and started to apply them to old anthropological aspects. As in your reach online is indirectly linked to a tribe, to a family, to a caveman's tribe. How cool is that? This guy took these components and started to measure them versus ancient sociological things of human interactions. So thus emphasizing the point that human interaction, semantics, this is a key element for your social media campaigns. Yora?
Sorry.
Good.
Can you expand on that, like an example of how semantics changes different people?
Well, a big problem you'll get is through international customers, international followers. One aspect, one nuance. Nuance is a key element that you need to kind of pay attention to. It's very, very hard to measure. So a measure of my sarcasm may be misinterpreted by, I hate to use the example of an American audience, but it may not transfer too well over.
Would that be similar to like describing a car accident? Like I said that the car careened into the guardrail and Tina said it ran into it.
No, I think you're just getting into, that's just typographic, that's just syntax really. It's not. The aspect is within certain nuances, human interaction, different ways that I would call somebody by a different name or a different nickname. That kind of thing can be misinterpreted by other brands. There are a few examples, but I tell you what, I'll post them up on the group because I want to run through quite quickly. So this is an example of Haig when he tries to incorporate quite old school with new school. So we'll move on to the shame wall. I mentioned before, when you engage with a social media campaign, sometimes it goes wrong. Do we know these two brands? Can anybody tell me what happened with the first one? In at number 1.
What do you plan about the thing with the African oil that they use in the
Nope.
Kit Kat? You're
The
not talking about that.
breastfeeding formula for that?
Nope.
Because it's a lot of...
The spring water?
Nope.
Oh, they did so many bad things.
They did. Yes. They did so many bad things, yes. So we already have a negative brand impression of Nestle, is that correct?
No.
No? We've got a positive brand impression?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. The point that I'm trying to make, the example that I'm referring to was quite recently. It was on a Friday, because I remember I was in work and I was just leaving and I said, no, this did not happen. Some guy in the marketing department decided that what would be great for Nestle would be to set up a Facebook page. Okay? Now, the underlying story behind this was that earlier on, I think it was Greenpeace, there was something about a whaling ship, there was something involved where Greenpeace, there was a conflict with them. And that had happened before, so Greenpeace were out for blood. What they did was this kind of grassroots campaign to hop onto that Facebook page. So they put it up around 12 o'clock on a Friday, UK time. Within 2 hours, it was littered with abuse, foul language, direct insults towards everybody who works in Nestle. So what happened? The guy who set up the page started slinging insults back at the people and saying, well, you know, F you, well, F you too. How dare you say that about my mother? And as soon as that happened, it snowballed and it exploded. One of the worst social marketing ideas that I've had. First of all, does Nestle deserve a Facebook page?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
It does, of course it does. It has to be transparent.
Freedom of speech as well.
The problem was, the guy who did that was just not very well informed, he didn't manage it properly. The reputation management opportunity there was completely missed. They could have said, look, you know, we do have our faults, and we do have X, Y, and Z, we have done this, but we're trying to improve it, we're trying to da-da-da-da-da. They didn't do that, he started slinging insults.
They kind of announced afterwards that they stopped using and they stopped going against the whales, and they tried to save it and to package it on a nice.
So they did try a kind of a brand rescue package, but unfortunately it was just absolutely too late. Right, so that's one quick one. Nestle, you can have a look. I'm a fan, because I just want to see what's happening. It's like perverse, I'm looking in the window. Vodafone, does anybody know what happened with Vodafone recently?
Anti-racist, they had a tweet, a very bad one, at think that
It was a little bit more chauvinistic than than racist.
Yes.
Some guy who worked in Vodafone was managing the Vodafone UK Twitter feed. He went out and had a cup of coffee or something like that, and his mate who sat at the desk next to him hopped on and said, "I like it up the." I'm not going to finish the end of the sentence because I'm on camera, but he made a homophobic reference on the official tweet. And what do you think happened? Absolute bedlam. Within a matter of minutes, people went absolutely ape. Screen grabs, everybody had copies of it, people were sending it out here and there. How did they manage it? They sent a direct message to everyone who follows Vodafone UK to say, we're sorry. What do you think? Good reputation management? I don't think so.
No.
It actually escalated the problem because the people who weren't aware of it were made aware of it.
True, but you can also figure out how bad it's going to turn in the first place, and for how long it's going to last. So I'm sorry, always fix.
So you always want to fix it. You think,
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but on the other side, you can't leave this situation unattended because
I
you
wouldn't
don't know
want to tell
how
it, but I
angry
think a
it will
public
turn.
display, but not directly messaging everybody,
Okay.
because I think
Yeah,
that's.
it got really big. I was in Romania and I found out about it. I wasn't even here.
So they could have got away with it by not
They
telling.
haven't approached Cyprus.
Sorry,
Because I thought they're ignoring the problem and they're addressing
They
it.
haven't came
not
to
ignoring the
Cyprus.
problem, taking a public statement to address it.
Stay to me and like, yes, stop there.
Alright, guys.
Didn't see me happen on CNN with the commentator for Sanchez. He made a comment and then CNN came on and, said why he wouldn't be back on the show. Yeah. They had to cover it up and apologize to everybody and explain it, otherwise they wouldn't have their viewers anymore.
Fantastic. I love that. I love that. I mean, this is the name and shame wall, because I love that. If you've got any others, I mean, just look at how they manage it. Nokia was
They just removed from Cyprus, and they just removed just removed the maps from Cyprus. And when someone sent them an email saying why did you remove it, they said talk to the Turkish authority, which is a different country. So yeah, it was kind of
political.
yeah, it was kind of rude and whatever. So
Excellent. Well, this is just
I'm not buying Nokia again, so
this is a brief interlude where this is my perverse looking in the adult shop window. I mean, I love seeing these things happen, but it's quite key to look at reputation management. It's quite a key point, and it should be maybe an element and maybe a KPI of your social media campaign. So,
how about, just real quick, how about that footballer that tweeted a picture
Ryan
of
Babel,
a
yeah.
referee
Mhm.
with the Manchester United
with the Manchester United jersey,
I mean,
and they're going to
does
look
that
into.
enhance his reputation?
Well, you could argue, but there's quite a lot of stuff done on social network sites in football. There's actually a colleague of mine who's doing quite a bit of research into it, into social media networks and how they work with the fan base. But I think it's quite tribalized, and he actually uses Kova and Kova, the tribalization of society, as a lens, a theoretical lens to look at this. But you'll find that it doesn't stretch very far outside of the tribe. So I think while it makes national coverage, it's just an example of something going wrong, but again, the impact of it, I'm not sure how. But personally, I agree with the tweet. So, okay, so social media marketing. Just a very brief point I want to run through because I've taken your guys' time with so much. Key point of social media marketing: with your reputation management, with your customer journey, your customer buying process, it's constantly there, right? So your advertising will only go so far. Then you'll consider the old school models, AIDA, right? Internet search will only go so far. Your partner's website, email marketing will bring you to the point of conversion, but do you send an email about something that you bought on Amazon? I bought this on Amazon last week. I'm not going to email anybody about it. I might tweet about it. So think about that as quite an important channel for your social media marketing campaign. It's at every stage of the customer journey. Okay? When you think about the metrics with different platforms, different products that you're using, YouTube, it's got some fantastic metrics in there. You can measure the cursor as it hovers around the video. The interaction, what did you interact with? Did you hover over a certain character within the video? Stuff like this. Perfect. It makes a really, really good evaluation of the campaign. Okay, demographics aside. Ignore that. Sorry, it's 1 and 2. So, exercise 2. And this will conclude, because I'm probably so late. Right, what you have in front of you, what I'm going to do is, can you pass these around? Sorry. What I've done up is an evaluation matrix. Okay? So what I want you to do is to spend 5-10 minutes on this. Your product is your prize. Okay? So this is a triple chocolate muffin from Costa Coffee, which I bought down the road.
The first one I want to get.
You have to earn it. So what I want you to do with the evaluation, with the evaluation framework which is going around, what I want you to do is take this muffin, which is your product. Now, being master students in social media and e-marketing, what you're going to do is practice what you preach, practice what we preach. You're going to take this product, Mr. Muffin wants a social media campaign. There you go, there's the budget. What you need to do is figure out some KPIs, figure out what tools you're going to use, just make it up, don't worry about details. And then tell me, how are you going to evaluate this? How are you going to tell Mr. Muffin that the campaign was successful? How are you going to tell him that he's got the influence that he needs? Okay? Would 5-10 minutes be okay? Great. Off you go.